Magandang araw! So magpapatuloy tayo ng pag-aaral para sa ating YouthWorks PH Flexible Training for Work program. Para sa araw na to, ang pag-aaralan natin ay Module 2.2. So, ang core skill na inaaral para sa Module na 2 is interpersonal skills o yung kung paano tayo makisama sa kapwa. Last time, ang pinag-aralan natin is paano tayo magkakaroon ng effective na relationship with our boss. Ito naman, ang bibigyan pansin natin is paano tayo makikipag-work sa ating mga kasamahan. How do we develop positive workplace relationships with coworkers? Yung mga kapareho natin yung trabaho or mas mababa sa atin yung trabaho. So, introduction, no? Ano ba yung mga coworker na gusto nyong makatrabaho at ano-ano ba yung mga coworker na ayaw ninyo na makatrabaho. Now, ito yung nais naming sabihin sa inyo, no? Gusto namin na makita ninyo na mayroong difference ang relasyon sa family members and sa mga kaopisina. Relationships between family members are personal relationships. This begin at home. So, nakaugat yan sa bahay. Minsan wala tayong choice. Kasi yun ang pamilyang ibinigay sa atin. Minsan maswerte tayo dahil loving, warm, at kahit supportive yung family natin. Pero minsan, hindi ganon ang pamilya natin. Minsan mabigat, minsan may away, minsan may dysfunctional na family. And that's okay. You can still thrive and be successful even if you come from a dysfunctional family. Pero, okay, sa pamilya, nakataya talaga dyan ang iyong puso, no? So, personal relationships. Relationships between office mates, magkakatrabaho, bosses and employees and customers, this begin in the workplace. It's not personal to an extent na pwede ka kasing magbigay actually ng boundary, no? Pwede mong piliin lang yung mga detalye na i-share mo sa workplace mo. Remember na sa trabaho, ikaw ay binabayaran based dun sa competence mo sa trabaho. May mga pagkakataon na hindi mo kailangang ibulat-lat ang iyong personal na buhay. It is not a requirement. Remember that you have a right to privacy. May karapatan ka na protektahan ang iyong personal na buhay. Alright? The only time na allowed na nanghihimasok yung ating work or mga kasamahan natin sa trabaho is when yung kumbaga whatever's happening at home is now affecting you and so making you less productive dun sa trabaho mo. That's the time na allowed na ano ba nangyayari sa kanyang pamilya? Ano kaya nangyayari sa kanyang personal na buhay? Bakit naaapektuhan yung trabaho? Right? But in normal and common circumstances, I'm telling you that you have a right to privacy. If you're uncomfortable in sharing your personal details at work, it's okay. Don't be guilty. You have the right to keep your private life private. Alright? So, yun yung gusto kong restriction, limitation, and freedom na gusto ko aware kayo. Alright? Now, let's look at topic number 1. What are the characteristics of a positive workplace relationship? Okay. Even though, pwede nating protektahan yung personal part, no? Hindi naman ibig sabihin na cold tayo sa trabaho. Makikisama pa rin tayo ng maayos, ipapakilala pa rin natin yung authentic self natin, no? And here are the characteristics of a positive workplace environment. So, there is trust. How does trust look in the workplace? Trust can be seen in different ways. This can be seen when a colleague is confident and sure that colleagues will deliver his or her output on time. There is the reason why sinasanay namin kayo na magpasa ng home task and then may deadline kayo. Right? There is a trust between you and me. Nagniniwala ako na as a responsible person, you will do your deliverable within the required timeline. Ganon din kapag nasa trabaho na kayo. Alright? So, yung mga skills actually na pinapagawa namin sa inyo, ano yan magagamit nyo yan sa inyong, pag nagtrabaho na kayo. Right? So, you need to prove that you can deliver. And when you can, you are going to build trust. At the end of that all, no, hindi madadaan sa pangiti-ngiti at pa-cute-cute, no? You do your job and you do it well. Alright? Trust can also be seen when coworkers are true to their word and commitments. Pag sinabi mong tatapusin mo yung inventory by 5 p.m. today, you will do your best para matapos ito by 5 p.m. today. Alright? So that's trust and commitment. This can be seen when coworkers are able to openly ask for help with difficult or challenging tasks. Another thing that shows na mayroong trust is when you can ask for help. Minsan kasi may mga workplace na ano ba to? Tanong ng tangers naman to. So may distrust ng kaunti dun sa workplace, no? You know na pwede kang maging vulnerable, right? At manghingi ng tulong kapag mayroong trust sa inyong workplace. So that means that, remember, no, tinuruan ko kayo to do, well, hindi naman tinuruan. Ang ating module 1.2 is following instructions, no, step-by-step instructions. Bago naman kayo manghingi ng tulong, kailangan nyo munang hanapin yung paraan sa sarili nyong pamamaraan. For example, hanapin nyo sa documents ninyo, baka nandun. Kung hindi nyo mahanap, baka nasa Google ang inyong kasagutan. Bago kayo magtanong sa ibang tao. Why? One, busy din kasi ang inyong mga tao sa paligid ninyo. Meron din silang sariling deliverable. So, do not impose yourself too much on them. Alright? That way, kapag nanghingi ka ng tulong, no, they will be willing to help you. Kasi alam nila, ano naman to, madiscard ito, kaya lang to nanghihingi ng tulong kasi hindi talaga madaling mahanap yung sagot. That's what trust looks like. No? And it's easier for people to help you if you are like that. On the other hand, we know that trust might be missing in the workplace when coworkers are speaking behind each other's back. Ayan, yung nakangiti sa harap mo, pero nagchichismisan sa likuran. Toxic workplace yan. Coworkers micromanage each other on every task. Lahat na lang ng gawain, dinidikta. Na parang hindi mo mapagkakatiwalaan yung kasama mo. Hindi mo siya, feeling mo ikaw lang ang magaling, no? Toxic workplace yan. Coworkers are not comfortable to communicate with each other, whether to give praise or criticism. Alam mo na kulang sa pagtitiwala kung one, ayaw magbigay ng praise kasi lalaki yung ulo ng isa, or ayaw mo magbigay ng criticism kasi nga pinagchismisan kapag nagbigay ka ng criticism. So those are characteristics of a toxic workplace. At that workplace, walang trust. Alright? Another thing na alam mo, no, na you are in a good place when there's also respect. Respect can be seen in different ways. This can be seen as coming to work on time and to meetings on time. Again, busy ang mga tao. Mahalaga ang oras, so do not be the bida-bida. Do not be the diva-diva. Hindi sa'yo umiikot ang mundo. Alright? This can be seen as being open and respectful to your coworkers' opinions and insights, even if it is different from yours. Hindi ikinabababa ng ating pagkatao na tumanggap ng opinyon na iba dun sa atin. Pwede nating tanggapin na not necessarily nagbabago tayo ng isipan. Pwede natin, you're correct. You're correct on this part. I agree with you on this part. No? Without necessarily making yourself wrong or thinking that you are wrong. Hindi mo kailangan laging tama, no? Pwede ka rin kasing maging tama at tama rin siya, no? Kapag tinignan mo sa ibang perspective. So, it's okay to accept other people's opinions and insights kahit iba sa'yo. Remember, hindi mo hawak ang lahat ng katalinuhan sa mundo. Okay? This can also be seen as protecting your coworkers' privacy, knowing the boundaries between personal and professional space. Kung ayaw ng katrabaho mo na mag-open up ng tungkol sa kanyang bagong boyfriend, bagong girlfriend, then let it be. Hayaan mo siya sa kanyang privacy. Hayaan mo siya sa kanyang boundary. Hindi niya utang na loob o hindi niya responsibilidad na i-chika sa'yo ang lahat ng mga bagay na gustong-gusto mong malaman. No. You need to honor the privacy of other people so that they will also honor your privacy. Alright? So, this can be seen as simple as keeping your workstation neat and clean, knowing that you are sharing the same space with your workers. Kahit yung simpleng pagsisigurado lang na malinis yung ating mga common areas is already a sign of respect kasi alam mo na hindi lang ikaw yung gumagamit nun. Now, kung ito yung maganda na nakikita natin sa opisina, ito naman yung mga ways kung saan makikita natin na ay teka, parang nawawala yata yung respect, toxic yata yung workplace na to. When coworkers belittle or discount each other's opinions, ay hindi naman tama yung sinasabi mo. Ay mali ka. Ako lang tama. Ay, ano ba yung sinasabi mo? Ano ba yung idea mo? Tsaka-tsaka naman yan. That's belittling, no? Kala mo nakakatawa, no? Kala mo nakakatawa, but actually you're belittling and invalidating other people's opinions. So that means that person is not respecting the other person. Toxic ang workplace. Coworkers become too nosy or meddlesome in the personal or private affairs of others. Uy, sino yung bago mong jowa? Naku, sino yan? May ginawa ba kayo dun sa may storage house para may naririnig kaming ingay dun Yung mga ganyan. Ay, may anak ka na pala. Naku, ilang taon ka ba? Naku, ilang taon ka pa lang bata kaya tang naglandi. Yung mga yon. Toxic workplace. Alright? Again, people are entitled to their own privacy. Hindi nila responsibilidad na magkwento sa ibang tao. Okay? You also know that respect is absent when coworkers are not mindful of the space they share with each other, getting distractingly noisy and loud during office hours. Kapag masyadong maingay to a point na sa kanila na lang, sila na lang pakikinggan mo, no? Again, ang rule dito is kailangan mong isipin na mahalaga ka, may espasyo ka. But mahalaga din ang ibang tao at may espasyo din ang ibang tao. Respect your space, respect other people's space also. That's respect. And topic number 3, open communication. Ang alam mo na maganda, positive yung relationship ninyo kung may open communication. And it can only happen when there's trust and respect. A positive relationship in the workplace can be seen as being able to openly and honestly communicate with coworkers, whether it is asking for help on work-related tasks or giving feedback and suggestions on a poorly performed work. Saka lamang mag-move forward yung inyong trabaho o yung inyong project kung merong open communication. Kung merong balat sibuyas at nagwawala na kapag napulaan lang ng kaunti, mahihirapan yung project ninyo na mag-move forward. Kasi hindi nyo nakikita yung tama at hindi nyo maiko-correct yung mali. Alright? Why have good workplace relationships? Positive workplace relationships can make work fun. Positive workplace relationships can make enjoyable and fun. When we have good relationships with our coworkers, we can motivate each other to do good and even excellent work. It will bring out the best in you. At saka, malaking bahagi ng buhay mo, ilalaan mo sa trabaho. Ang pangit naman ang bigat sa dibdib mo, no? Masaya yung fun lang kayo, competent kayo sa trabaho ninyo, pero fun, no? I am actually very happy because in most of my jobs, lalo na yung sa job ko ngayon, masaya kasi may trust and respect sa isa't isa. But it's not always like that, no? Kagaya rin ninyo, sabi ko nga, I used to work sa isang government agency, at marami ring mga toxic na mga attributes and mga nangyari doon. So, I was so miserable, no? Yung hindi mo mapagkakatiwalaan yung mga taong katabi mo. 2 years ago din, nagtrabaho ako sa isang school na ganun din, no? Nakangiti sila sa harap mo, pero iba pala yung sinasabi pag nasa likuran mo na. It was a year of miserable na pagod ka. Doon pa lang sa katoksika ng lugar, pagod ka na. So what I did is I resigned and found another job. Now I'm in a better place, no, kung saan may respeto sa isa't isa at may tiwala sa isa't isa. Okay? So, positive workplace relationships can also help develop your skills. Kapag hindi ka kasi stress, kapag hindi ka ano kayang sasabihin ko, baka naman masamain na naman. Kapag hindi ka nun kasi, ang mangyayari is, magkakaroon ng pagkakataon, no? Magkakaroon ng pagkakataon na ma-develop talaga yung full potential mo. When employees don't have to worry about negative and unproductive relationships with coworkers tulad ng mga chismisan, backstabbing, bullying, and intimidation in the workplace, employees get to focus more on developing their core skills and competencies. Alright? And lastly, mas importante sa inyo, positive workplace relationships can help develop our careers. When we are able to build good relationships with our coworkers, these coworkers could also serve as future references or contacts in your career. Remember, don't burn bridges, no? Kahit na naging sobrang miserable mo sa pinagtrabahuan mo, huwag kang mag-iiwan na maging maladiva ka na ikaw, masama ugali mo. Ikaw, ayoko sa'yo. Ang chismosa mo. Ikaw, bully ka. Don't do that, no? Kasi, maliit lang ang mundo, no? And lalo na kung nasa food and beverage industry kayo or nasa isang industry kayo, magkikita kayo. Don't burn bridges. I-block nyo lang sila sa buhay nyo. Okay? Like, I don't care about what you're saying. Walang epekto sa kanyang sinasabi mo. Zine zone ka. But do not say anything bad. Kasi, at the end of the day, ang nangyayari kasi is, actually nagtatawag ng mga references yung mga future employees nyo. Chine-check nila kung paano ka nakipagtrabaho sa mga dati mong katrabaho. So, kung kahit gaano sila ka-toxic, nanatili kang dignified, wala silang masasabing masama sa'yo, no? So, you keep your dignity, no? Kahit na nasa toxic na lugar ka. That's one. Actually, kung sunwerte ka naman at nasa isa kang napaka-respectful na environment, ang ganda rin dahil marami kang matatap para maging reference mo in the future. So how do we develop positive workplace relationships? So we practice common courtesy. A practical way of developing positive workplace relationship is to practice common courtesy. A friendly hi or hello is a simple and yet powerful first step towards developing a positive workplace relationships with coworkers. Pero pag nag-hi o hello ka, tapos hindi ka pinansin, huwag mo sabihin, this, maldito. Don't. Pag hindi ka pinansin, di move on. No? So, that's common courtesy. This one is the most powerful, recognizing individual differences. Another way of developing a positive workplace relationship is to respect each person's beliefs and values. Our coworkers can be different from us in terms of age, ethnicity, gender, political, and religious beliefs. Remember, pag nagtrabaho kayo, lahat kayo ay fully formed individuals na nanggaling sa iba't ibang pamilya. May iba-iba kayong background. So, you must understand that they will have beliefs, no? And let them be. Hayaan nyo sila sa kanyang belief, no? Kung hindi naman nakakasira or nakakasakit at hindi naman nakakatapak sa pagkatao yung kanilang paniniwala, hayaan nyo sila, no? You have your own opinion, they have their own opinion. Let them be. And lastly, honoring boundaries. Simula pa lamang, pinakikilala ko na sa inyo ang power ng boundary, no? As coworkers, you must understand that not everyone wants to be friends with their coworkers, and that is okay. No? That is okay. Kung gusto mo ng friends, hanap ka yung tunay mong friends talaga, yung high school friends mo, no? So workplace, if some people don't want to be friends, let them, no? It's not a requirement to be friends, no? Some of our coworkers may prefer to keep the boundaries between their personal lives and their professional lives separate. The invitation for us is to respect these boundaries. Hindi naman porket ayaw nila maging friends, hindi na sila cordial or hindi na sila amicable, no? Pwede naman kasing hindi kayo friends, pero amicable pa rin naman. Hindi naman kailangan mag-away. So, kung ayaw nilang maging close, let it be. Hindi nila kailangan na maging friend sa inyo kung ayaw nila. Alright? Honor boundaries. So, tignan natin. Let's have some application, no? Practicing common courtesy. You notice that a group of employees has been leaving the common workplace dirty and untidy. How would you respond? No? Ang isang trainee ko, ang sabi niya ay lilinisin niya daw yung work area. That's one answer. But I do not suggest that. The second that I suggest is linisin mo yung sarili mong area and then paalalahanan mo yung mga katrabaho mo para linisin nila yung kanilang kalat. Remember na pare-pareho kayo na nagtatrabaho doon. Hindi ka utusan. Hindi ka nila utusan. Linisin mo yung sarili mong kalat, paalalahanan mo sila. Alright? Pantay-pantay kayo, no? Pantay-pantay kayong may responsibilidad na linisin yung inyong common area. Your colleague has been playing loud music during office hours and it has become distracting. How would you respond? So, puntahan mo siya. Pre, mare, ang lakas ng sound. Pwede bang mag-headset ka? Nadidistract kasi ako eh. Okay? Say it. Say it ng diretso sa kanya, hindi yung nagpaparinig ka. No? Disrespectful yung nagpaparinig. Disrespectful and ineffective. Punta ka sa kanya, usap kayo, sabihin mo sa kanya. Diretso. Next, there is a new employer in your team. How would you respond? So, kung may bagong empleyado, turuan siya. Make her or him feel welcome. For sure, remember nung bago ka, ganun din yung nararamdaman mo. Pakiramdam mo, naiilang ka. So, make the person feel at home. A colleague plays video games or watches videos during lull times at works. How do you respond to this situation? Two answers, no? One, kung kung oras ng trabaho, pwede mo siyang pagsabihan, pre, mare, time to work, mamaya ka na maglaro or manood ng video. Or, kung ayaw mo yon, punta ka sa sa supervisor mo or sa HR. No? Sabihin mo sa kanya yung situation. Second situation, what if nanonood siya or naglalaro siya kapag break time? Kapag ganon, let the person be. Break time niya eh. So, meron siyang, pwede siyang manood at maglaro because that's break time. Alright? And the fifth situation is, a colleague does not bring his or her own snacks but has the habit of asking food from everyone. How do you respond to the situation? At first, pwede ka namang magbigay if you want to. Pero kung paulit-ulit at nagiging buraot na siya, say no. Say, napansin ko pangatlong beses ka nang nanghihingi wala bang pagkain sa inyo? Alright? Remember, pare-pareho kayong nagtatrabaho at pare-pareho kayong kumikita. So, hindi mo responsibilidad na pakainin siya, no? Hindi mo responsibilidad na buhayin siya. Alright? Pwede mo siyang tulungan kung kapag nagsabi siya na talagang nahihirapan siya. Pero kung kunwari, may problema kasi sa bahay, may tinatawag kasi tayong messianic complex, no? Minsan, gusto natin tayo yung sumagot dun sa problema niya. But when you do that, I want you to ask yourself, nakakatulong ka ba talaga? Or, nakakasama pa lalo dahil umaasa siya sa'yo at hindi siya natututo na isolve yung problema niya. No? What you can do, kunwari, kaya pala siya nanghihingi dahil may problem. You can refer her or him sa mga organizations na tumutulong sa kanyang situation. Hindi mo responsibilidad na bigyan ng solusyon yung kanyang problema. Rather, you give her or him the help. You give him or her links kung saan pwedeng siya mismo ang hahanap ng solusyon o tulong para sa kanyang sarili. That is empowerment. Alright? Next, punta tayo dun sa recognizing individual differences. During lunch, a colleague of yours asked, "Why aren't you praying before you eat? You practice a different religious belief from this colleague of yours. How would you respond?" Ngumiti ka lang sa kanya at sabihin mong, iba kasi yung aking relihiyon. End. Huwag mo nang ipaliwanag kasi alam mo, actually may bias in terms of religion. Ang mga tao minsan sobrang fervent yung kanilang faith sa kanilang sariling relihiyon that they don't want to question it, or they want to impose the religious belief on other people. It's not, having a religious belief is not bad, no? I am a Catholic and I'm a proud Catholic. But, nagiging bad lang yan kung i-impose mo yung paniniwala mo sa ibang tao. Alright? Kung hindi siya Catholic, okay lang yun. No? Kung siya ay Iglesia ni Cristo, okay lang yun. Alright? Hindi lang isa ang relihiyon na nagpapahayag ng katotohanan. Remember that. So therefore, we have to respect everybody's religious differences. Ako, dahil yung kasamahan ko, karamihan sa kanila ay mga Muslim, so I have to respect yung time ng prayer nila. So, I have to not schedule meetings during dun sa time ng meeting nila. Dahil, may oras sila ng kailangan nilang magdasal. So, yun, di na kailangan ipaliwanag. Pag oras na ng pagdadasal nila, walang meeting. No. So, yun. Pangalawa, you find yourself in the middle of an office banter about age. The banter has escalated to stereotyping such as millennials are lazy. Kami yung millennials, no? Kami yung mga nasa 30s na ngayon no? Ah, ang mga millennials yata ay currently mga 25 sila ngayon, 25, 26 to 30s. Tapos yung mga below 25, Gen Z generation na kayo. Yung mga mas matanda sa atin, they're boomers. And boomers are out of date. How would you navigate the scenario with trust and respect? Remember na magkakaiba tayo ng henerasyon. Magkakaiba yung mundong nilakihan natin. Sa panahon ng mga baby boomer, wala naman silang access sa teknolohiya na meron tayo. No? So their sense of reality is shaped by their reality at that time. So yung mga solution nila, no, ay mga trust and tested na to ng kanilang panahon, no? It's not exactly wrong kasi nga nasubukan naman nila, no? But that does not mean naman na yung mga millennials na may ibang paraan ng pagtatrabaho are wrong too, no? Again, punta tayo ulit sa konteksto. Yung mga millennials kasi, sila yung mga lumaki dun sa paparating pa lang yung sila yung nasa shift ng hard labor, tas medyo nagiging technical na yung mundo. May computer, pero yung computer na namin na kinalakihan, hindi pa yan yung mabilis na computer. Ano pa lang, yung may malaking likuran. Tapos kami pa yung nakaranas ng Nokia. Tuwang-tuwa pa kami sa Nokia na mukhang remote control. So, yun. So, nakita namin na yung pag-shift ng trend mula doon sa hard labor to something more efficient, no? Now, yung Gen Z, ito talaga yung lumaki sa mabibilis na ang lahat, no? May smartphone na, may Google na. So, talagang mga mahilig sa mabibilis na mga solusyon. So, millennials and the Gen Z, sila yung mga tipong nakahanap na ng paraan para mapabilis yung mga bagay-bagay. So, they are correct, no? They are also correct. So, how would you navigate the scenario with trust and respect? Validate mo yung dalawa. Tama yung baby boomers, tama rin naman yung mga millennials, no? So, pipiliin lang natin yung tamang solusyon. Minsan nga, pwedeng try natin yung solusyon nito at solusyon ng isa. Tingnan natin kung ano yung mag-work. No? Do not invalidate other people's experience. Right? Or number 3, at the end of a workday, you notice one of your colleagues being fetched by his or her significant other. You notice that you have a different gender preference and sexual orientation from your colleague. Would this change how you treat your colleagues? How would you respond? So, ano na yan, no? Very open na tayo sa communication sa gender fluidity. So, kapag meron tayong nakita na ganyan, kalma lang, normal lang. No? Don't make a hush. Huwag kayong magchismisan. Uy, tomboy pala yung jowa nito. Uy, bakla pala yung jowa nito. No? That's dehumanizing. No? So, don't. Kalma lang. No? Normal lang. You don't fall in love with gender. You fall in love with a person. So, let them be. Hayaan mo sila sa kanilang buhay. They're not doing anything wrong. Wala naman silang tinatapakang ibang tao. So, wala kang karapatang pagchismisan sila. Alright? Number 4, your colleague makes fun of people with disability and people of color. What would you do in this situation? Why? Now, minsan, no, lalo na kapag ka-funny yung ating katrabaho, minsan, 'di ba nga, may mga taong napaka-funny talaga. Parang vice ganda o ganyan. Tatawa ka lang ng tatawa. Pero minsan, no, below the belt yung mga joke, no? They make fun of people with disability, they make fun of people of color. Minsan, yung mere fact na nakitawa ka is already making them feel na tama sila. Na dapat ipagpatuloy yung pambubuli. Don't do that. If someone makes it as if it's a joke, be the uncomfortable one and say, may nakakatawa ba doon? Just make them question, no? The mere fact na hindi ka tumawa at nag-question ka, May nakakatawa ba dun? Parang wala naman Hindi naman natin dapat pinagtatawanan ng mga taong may kapansanan o yung mga taong iba yung kulay sa atin. No? Kalma, pero kinokorek mo yung toxic mentality. No? So, minsan, check din natin kung ano yung mga pinagtatawanan natin. Baka kasi toxic na yon. Alright? So, we recognize other people's difference. You talked about, number 5, you talked about your fondness for watching Korean novellas, and a colleague respond by saying, ay, ang baduy ng Korean novela, mas gusto ko ang Hollywood movies. How do you respond? Sabi mo, yes, maganda rin naman yung mga Hollywood movies. I agree with you. Okay? Huwag mo nang ipilit na magustuhan niya yung Korean novellas. Hindi niya magugustuhan yan. So, just i-validate mo na lang siya, then iwanan mo siya. Hindi siya yung tamang taong dapat mo makausap. Okay? Tama din naman talaga yun. Maganda naman talaga yung Hollywood movies. But that does not mean na mali ka. Maganda rin naman yung Korean novellas, no? Because that's your preference and you're free to love what you love, no? Hindi mo kailangan ng permission ng ibang tao. Okay? Now, let's go to the third concept natin. Honoring boundaries. A colleague of yours shares with you how he or she has been having problems at home and this problem has been affecting his or her work. How would you respond? Ito nga yung sinabi ko kanina, no? So, may mga nagsishare because that happens. That happens a lot, lalo na pag naging close na kayo. So, there are 2 ways that you can do it. 1, just listen. Minsan, hindi naman nila kailangan na may magsusolve ng problema nila. Kailangan lang nila ng tao na makikinig sa kanila, no? Again, people are strong enough to solve their problem on their own. Hindi mo responsibilidad na isolve yung problema niya. Okay? You have your own problem to solve also. Okay? So, listen. The second is, kung talagang kailangan ng tulong, don't take it upon yourself to do it unless mayaman ka, no? And you have the resources. But if you don't, no, look for organizations that can help your friend. There are various organizations na makakatulong. Give contact details. Hindi yung sabihin mo lang at utusan mo siya. Give contact details kapag nag-recommend ka ng mga organizations na tutulong. So, ganon. 1, just listen. Maybe that's just what the other person needs. Or recommend, no? Recommend legitimate organizations that will help. Hindi mo responsibilidad na tulungan siya. Ang responsibilidad mo ay isolve yung problema mo para hindi ka maging burden ng ibang tao. Alright? Second, it was announced during a meeting that one of your colleagues will be on leave due to personal reasons. How would you respond? Would you reach out to this colleague and ask further why he or she is on leave? Why or why not? Okay. 2 answers. 1, kung ikaw naman ay normal na katrabaho lamang, wag na. Iyan mo siya. No? There might be a reason. No? At ayaw niya pang sabihin yon. Let that other person be. No? Baka painful yung reason. Second, kung ikaw naman ay team leader, no? Team leader or supervisor, wala ka talagang choice, kailangan mong malaman. Do it in a empathetic and understanding way. No? Hindi yung i-demand mo. At pag hindi niya sinagot, don't take it against that other person na hindi niya sinagot. No? Again, I told you, everyone is entitled to their own privacy. You are too, other people are too. Number 3, your colleague has sent you a friend request on social media. How would you respond? Okay. Again, depende to sa'yo. Pwede mong hindi tanggapin kung ayaw mo. And that's okay. Hindi yun kamalditahan or kasupladituhan. No? That's okay. But if that's okay with you, you can accept it. Ako, a lot of you, when you send me a friend request, I accepted it because 1, I also want to know you. Second, it's easier for you kasi to send messages to me if we're friends. So, yung mga, ma'am, yung load allowance ko po ba? Okay na po ba? Ma'am, paano po yung home task number 1? Or, ito po yung home task number 2, video. No? So, very purposive kung bakit ko kayo tinatanggap sa social media. Pero actually, hindi ko kayo fina-follow, hindi ko sinusundan yung mga posts ninyo. Kasi I want you to have that privacy, no? Na hindi ko kayo minomonitor talaga. Yung personal page ninyo, that's your personal page, no? That's private. Sa inyo yan, no? My personal page is my personal page. That's also private. So, let's go for number 4. A colleague asked to borrow your comb. How would you feel about it? How would you respond to the situation? Tinanong ko yung mga previous trainee ko. Some of them are okay na magpahiram. Ako, I'm not. No? Comb is very personal actually. And napakasimple lang naman bumili ng comb, no? Mura lang naman ang ang suklay. So, bili na lang ng suklay, no? Ano kasi yan eh. I mean, I know that we're pretty sa ating mga hygiene, but it's not always the case. Like for example, pag may mga anak tayo ng mga bata, naglalaro sila sa labas, so nakahahawa sila ng kuto, tapos sa bahay, syempre, nag-share tayo ng comb, nag-share tayo ng pillow, nag-share kayo ng common space. So, pwedeng yung anak mo, mahawaan ka ng kuto, no? Tapos may kuto ka pala. Or yung katrabaho mo, yung anak niya, nahawaan siya ng kuto, may kuto pala siya. No? So, those are sensitive things, no? So, for hygienic reason, don't share comb, no? Maliit lang naman yan, mura lang yan. Bili na lang siya ng sarili niya. Pwede mo rin namang ibigay na lang sa kanya, tapos, ito, gamitin mo na, sa'yo na. Ganon. So, 3 ways to deal with that. 5, a customer client starts asking you personal questions. How would you deal with the situation? You're not going to give your personal answers, no? Again, hindi mo responsibilidad na na sabihin yung iyong personal na buhay sa mga tao. Kahit na customer mo pa sila, no? Ang responsibility mo, gawin yung trabaho mo, yung deliverables mo. They are paying you for your competence. Alright? So, you are free not to divulge. So, sabi ng previous trainee ko, na-navigate niya daw para ibalik dun sa concern na may kinalaman sa trabaho. No? Kumbaga, hindi niya talaga sinagot, pero hindi mapapansin ng customer na hindi niya sinagot. So, again, what I really just want you to remember is that you have a boundary. You can enforce it. Alright? So, here are some final thoughts. Any type of work will have some form of interaction with another person. Treat coworkers with common courtesy, trust, and respect. Developing positive relationships in the workplace can make your job enjoyable and productive. Alright? So, kagaya ng lagi, meron tayong home task. So, for your home task, you have 2 home tasks. Number 1, as you prepare yourself for employment, reflect on the workplace boundaries you would set. What areas of your life are you willing to share with your coworkers? What areas of your life are you not willing to share with your coworkers? So, ilatag mo, ano yung pwede mong i-share, ano yung hindi mo pwedeng i-share. And then make a short PowerPoint presentation of this. So, you want you to make a PowerPoint presentation para matutunan nyo kung paano gumawa ng PowerPoint presentation. Okay? So, that's home test number 1. Second is, imagine having a positive relationship with a coworker in the future. What qualities would he or she have that would make your relationship positive? Make a Facebook job advertisement for this coworker. But do not post the advertisement, no? So, gawa ka ng, kunwari, looking for. Ilista mo yung mga qualities that would make a coworker, a good coworker, no? So, gawa ka ng parang Facebook job advertisement. Pero wag mong ipopost, no? Ano lang, screenshot mo lang to send mo sa akin. Tapos, burahin mo na. Alright? So, that's home task number 2. Okay? Bear in mind that good relationships with coworkers based on trust, respect, and open communication. Alright? So, Yan ang ating pinag-aralan para sa araw na to. So that's Module 2.2, no? How to have an effective relationship with your coworkers. So that's it for today. Medyo mahaba yung ating pinag-aralan, but you made it at the end. Have a good day ahead of you. Bye!